Hello again. My name is Chris Kimbrough, and I'm with A Hand Up Recovery Homes. And this is our wonderful CEO, Reverend Wilbert E. Cook. C or E?
E.
E. Cook.
All them documents, and she forget whether it's a E or a C. She got
Okay.
caught in the cookie crumble.
I
But anyway,
know. And we are here today to talk about our organization, all the wonderful things that we can do to help, and we can go from there.
well, Chris, thanks for calling me out of the field to come run in here to do the program tonight. Unfortunately, the guests I had scheduled for her or me couldn't make it. Grandson had a basketball game. And we believe in supporting those young folks now and
Absolutely.
forever so that the streets don't become their refuge. And so Chris decided she'll allow me to run in here and try to say a few good words about our program. We've been around 20 years,
Yes.
and we've helped thousands of people. We've housed 400 over the 20-year period, and we have been able the last year to help try to prevent a few thousand people from potentially getting caught in their emotions and possibly pulling the trigger on a gun.
Yeah.
We've helped quite a few people deal with grief, especially.
Yes.
More people than we even imagined, some staff people also. And then
And
dealing
some
with
anger management.
anger management, some other traumas, depression, anxiety, the double-headed coin.
Yeah.
Sometimes, the different myriad of different potential diagnoses, the parameters. Even Chris had to say, wow, I didn't know it was that many.
Right.
The other problem sometimes is that many means some people is all along the spectrum.
Right.
Unlike some like autism, which we didn't get to, but we know can affect some of our young people, or ADHD, but in the future we planning to build more services to help cover the many myriads of mental illness and emotional illness that contributes to some of the things that end up happening to our young people when it comes to gun violence, all kind of violence, and sometimes lack of performance in society. And if we can get them stable mentally, emotionally, we can then continue to improve them physically and academically, and or their skills with their hands, trades, technology, and get them to being performing at the optimum level and being able to reach back and help others. And Chris, what else I miss?
Yeah, and the thing is, I hate to say it, but idle hands are the devil's workshop, but
Which
the thing,
devil?
Oh, well, there's, but, the thing is when people are active and have something to do with their hands and, they have to concentrate on a trade or craft or whatever, they're not thinking about violence, or they're not thinking about beating up anybody. Or, I know violence still, but it's so much more rewarding for them to see something that they actually made with their hands, as opposed to bang bang shoot 'em up, which is what we're trying to prevent. So we try to make sure that we can reach people and get them busy, even if it's opening our doors with our organization. We've had a lot of people that we met during our outreach sessions, and they've been continuing their care with us. And, we have a job available for one of them. We would love for him to start working with us, so because he's a great guy. He's very helpful, and he's gotten to that point where, okay, he's been showing consistency and reliability, so we don't just talk the talk, so we actually do try to help people once they've shown that they're very serious about actually getting the help. We are absolutely here to help.
Yeah, and I have to admit that unlike many organizations, we hired mostly people from our target area. Probably 90% of our staff and 100% grew up in our target area, and 90% still lives in our target area on the west side. And all of them have done for free on a regular basis throughout their life, whether it's in the church, community groups, civic groups, other clubs, periodically different groups, organizations with the homeless and other different campaigns and different things, whether it be for health care, whether it be for abortion rights. I mean, our people have worked in so many areas, in, outside the church, in the community, in the city at large, the county, the state, in order to affect positive change. We have probably, I believe, when it comes to local people, probably one of the most talented group of locals concentrated in one organization.
Yes.
And with a fraction of the money, what most people spend $1 million, $2 million to get results, we've been able to do with $100,000, $200,000. And we've even been able to return a little bit of it.
Right.
I mean, because we're that good with what we have, and we're frugal.
Yes.
They say I'm cheap, but I say frugal. I make sure we account for and spend the dollars wisely.
Yes.
And if I have any doubt, we have an accountant that has been called par excellent, impeccable,
Yes, she is.
by a 20-year veteran
Grant supervisor.
grant supervisor and monitor. She say that this may be the best record she's seen in 20 years. So we have did our part on both ends, but we pride ourselves not on her paperwork. The government pride themselves on her paperwork. We pride ourselves on people know our name.
Yes.
On the west side. We're a little organization, been on a few-year hiatus, and we're back for a year or so, and people talk about us as if we're the 30-year organization. And they are always coming to us because we're open to them.
Right.
And that's the greatest part of this work, and the most fulfilling is our service to the people, whether they at the food pantries at some of the churches in our local church, whether they at the Baptist church, whether they at the Zion church, whether they at the Catholic church, whether they're on Pulaski Road, the Heroin Highway, whether they're on Douglas Boulevard, one of the most beautiful strips of space in Chicagoland with one of the higher murder rates per the people that live in that area, whether they're on the vacant 16th Street or Roosevelt Road out west, or whether they're on Madison Street in the Austin and or Garfield corridor, east, west, or Austin corridor or Madison. They know we're out there because we're out there talking to them.
Every day.
And we have to refer them to the multi-million-dollar agencies with the triage center where no one's out in the evening to tell people that's struggling with mental health issues, emotional issues. There's help right down the street. There's help a block, a mile away. And we're getting them there.
Anybody who actually needs the help with the drugs, we absolutely send you to a detox program, and you're absolutely welcome to come back for a continuation of care with us, and we will help you with trainings and job leads and whatever else it is that you would need. We have AA meetings every Thursday. We have a reentry program if you're fresh out of jail. That's on
Or if they're out
Tuesday.
of jail, period,
Well,
and want
yeah,
to talk about some of the struggles.
that's true. It doesn't have to be fresh out of jail,
Because
but
sometimes having had that experience and re-entering the community, the family has its own special circumstances.
yeah, that's true.
People either they get used to you not being there,
Mm-hmm.
or they get used to some of the bad habits you had when you were out, and now
Right.
you went in, and this time you changed. You really changed this time. You
Mm-hmm.
come out different. You don't want to hustle drugs. You don't want to get high. You don't want to drink, and then they looking at you like, who's this guy?
Right. Right.
Usually they continue on, well, not as much so, but they usually continue on with those things in jail even. But when people come out having made that change mentally, emotionally, spiritually, sometimes that's as big a struggle as if they come out still ready to get into the action.
Right.
And that's the other thing too, is
Right.
to let people know you don't have to get back into action. There are programs, second chance programs, that's through Safer, through CTA, through UPS, through myriad other places, the greater Garfield, the greater West Town group does a lot of training for ex-offenders when it comes to maintenance and other things. The people of the Harvest Church has a
Oh, yeah.
program, and they've built about 150 units of housing, somewhere upwards to 150 units of housing in the last few years. So they got people that's learning to do management.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And they learn to manage those properties and learning to take care of brand new buildings, not just older buildings.
Right.
Now where they worked in, they actually learned to care for buildings that were built from the ground up, and a whole nother set of tenants and things year round. So
Right.
there are agencies like that. We know they're there, and we'll try to get you to them.
Right.
Anything we can't do for you, we pride ourselves on knowing where to send you, where to
Absolutely.
direct you, and oftentimes somebody to help make sure you get taken care of. We usually have a person or two that we can send you to, or to help guide you through their agency. Because sometimes agencies and bureaucracies can slow things down.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Sorry.
Bless you.
I knew it was
You
coming.
know, well, I mean, hey, thankfully I got my coat coming in out the weather. So I won't sneeze yet. But anyway,
Okay.
anything else you want to add, Chris?
Yeah, it's just, the thing is, we've had some of our outreach workers, they went out last night, and they happened to go to 10 South Kedzie, and they came across a large amount of people who were homeless and in need, and all of them came back talking about how it just broke their hearts on how there were so many families and mothers and children and everything. And, just out of the goodness of their heart, they decided on their own, they want to come back on Saturday and feed the homeless. So they're coming out of money out of their own pockets, trying to help feed the homeless. The thing is, we're one world, we're one people, true enough, we come in different packages,
Right.
but, bottom line is our bodies still operate the same underneath, and we truly have a genuine group of people working with us that truly do care about the people they're trying to reach, so I'm ecstatic, and
That's
I'm really
wonderful.
proud of them, because my heart goes out to all of the stories they were telling us of the people that they came across, but the mere fact of looking at them, that just lit a fire under them, that they were willing to just, okay, well, I'm going to bring this, I'm going to bring that, blase, skippy, just to come out of their own pockets to just go and feed the homeless. That's just so beautiful to me.
Yeah, it is. It's a wonderful. You know, I think one of my greatest disappointments in my 30 years of active work and 20 years with a hand up doing community service is night ministries.
Right.
One of the few groups that have worked the streets of Chicago at night still does not have a fleet of vans to put on every major city thoroughfare that has problems with homeless and drug addiction and other struggling people.
Right.
That's out in the community, kids whose parents drag them around at night because of their own lack of boundaries and their own mental, emotional, as well as physical struggles.
Right.
Whether it's addiction, whether it's mental health, they're out there with those kids. And night ministry for years, since I was a young adult, I know, possibly a little longer than that. I think they over 30-some years old. But they've been out there, but they haven't had a fleet for each street. But it's a problem on Roosevelt Road on the west side. It's a problem on certain stretches of King Drive on the south side. There's a problem on Madison Street at various stages along Madison Street up to the United Center that's been gentrified and redeveloped. But there's also the stretches of 16th Street on the west side. But there's stretches of 43rd on the south side and 55th Street and 63rd Street where night ministry should have a van on each one. You know, I don't just advocate for what we do and what we're able to do. When I see great work helping people that normally get overlooked, and when we're asleep, we tend to overlook that problem unless they come visit us.
Right.
Unless they come visit our house, unless somebody we know end up in a dangerous situation, we wake up to it on the news. But night ministry is one of those groups been out there feeding people, doing medical checkups, getting them in hospitals overnight.
Right.
But they still aren't this huge citywide organization. They've grown some because I've talked to a few, and even they have a Saturday afternoon ministry where they were down on Monroe by our local library along the Heroin Highway, giving out food, talking to people, giving them resources. But I'm like, you guys should have been so much bigger than this because the need has been so great for so long. And that's probably what another thing that I really enjoy in the work we do is those agencies we know been doing it ahead of us, that will do it alongside of us. But those that step in the gap, there's so many agencies love the 9 to 5, and they lead them very communities and people they say they care about to fend for themselves the next 16 hours till they open back up.
Right.
I appreciate the great work, but how all of these executives and programs have not seen the need after 5 and overnight to create more programs. Why are we in 2020, 21, 23 after the pandemic creating more of those programs, many of which should have been here this whole 2000 at least, or prior to that, 1990, because the issues of drugs kept escalating, and the mental health issues kept escalating, and the fact we know they're out there struggling. They no longer, I think one of the greatest advantages of cable is it helps increase the amount of information we can get. In CAN-TV, you all are absolutely the greatest on every level of society, every community, black, white, Latino, every culture, African American, Africans, Nigerians, Greece, the Greek cultures, the Jewish cultures, the Puerto Rican culture, the Mexican culture, the Venezuelan culture, the Italian culture. CAN-TV, in spite of limited funding, has something for everyone. And they're out here trying to put on programming that impacts every community.
That's right.
And it's by ordinary people,
Right.
that have worked their way up in society and want to give back, whether it's doctors, lawyers, nurses, whether it's just community activists, whether it's social justice advocates, whether it's child care advocates, whether it's people that want to have a media career, whether it's the local politicians calling them on the carpet, or whether it's helping create initiatives. So I'm honored to be a part of such a rich tradition of helping bring the message of hope and bring a message of encouragement and support to Chicago people, especially the West Side, where I was born, raised,
Yes,
developed,
absolutely.
cut my teeth, my toughness. You know, I'll try a steak later this week, see if my teeth any good. But anyway, Chris, you want to wrap us up?
Yeah, the thing is, before I started working with a hand up, just an average person goes about their everyday life with blinders on. And you see the problem, the problem is out there, the people need the help or whatever, but you really don't pay attention to it. And it wasn't until I started working with them that now it's like, oh my God, this person needs help. This person is on drugs. It's like some things that are, just evident to you now. It's like, oh wow, I never even noticed, all of these people and the different types of drugs and their reactions and stuff. I've learned so much since I've been working here. And, it breaks my heart to see that there are so many people out here in need, but I thank God that there are organizations like A Hand Up that are willing to help, that are willing to go out in the trenches in the middle of the night, where the people are out and actually need the help, instead of during the daylight hours when, a lot of organizations are open, but, we are open at nighttime. So we're here for the people when the people actually need us. So to wrap it up, we are located at
4032 West Van Buren, the lower level.
My email is across your screen, clkimbrough55@gmail.com. I am available if you want to reach out to us. If you want any help with funding, I am more than welcome. If you need our assistance in any kind of way, please feel free to reach out to me directly, and I promise you I will return your email.
Yes, this Chris's great goal is to see us expand.
Yes.
Every week she's investigating some potential grant that can help us better serve the people of Chicago, in particular our West Side. But we'll go where the need is.
Right.
Many of us always have done that. Family, friends, and people we've met.
Right.
Or when we get that unexpected call. Sometimes it's a stranger needing help. We try to find our resources to help.
Right.
But also, she has jumped in, as they say, with both feet and hit the ground running to help us not only maintain and build the program we have, but to expand to be able to serve a lot more people, to put a lot more of our community members first. We're West Side first.
Absolutely.
North Lawndale, where we grew up first, then we go to Garfield and Austin.
Right.
But we trying to put the people that we know got the high unemployment rates to work as we grow in those communities doing work. It's a travesty how many agencies have majority other communities working for them in our community with the known high unemployment rate. But for the next show, that might be a topic we need to explore.
Absolutely.
The unemployment that contributes to a lot of the insanity and the gun violence, because they're out there struggling to have a couple dollars in their pocket, and it's causing them to do some nefarious things, which oftentimes is leading to more gun violence. And whatever we can do, and unemployment is a good employment, sustainable employment, to take care of their family is one way to improve things and get the pressure off that causes a lot of gun violence.
Absolutely.
We thank you for your time, and contact us. We're available to help or to get more funding to help more people.
Absolutely.
Peace out.
We thank you
Blessings.
for being with us.